Welcome back. Catherine Quayle-Engel here, and today's yoga sequence involves the themes of surrender and centering and letting go. If you're like me and you have one of these, you might want to go ahead and put yourself or one of these dogs, cats, whatever, in a different room so that you can really focus. Go ahead also, grab a blanket or a pair of socks and a sweatshirt for Shavasana at the end. Also, we will have a meditation at the end, so you might want to have a chair or a bolster or some stacked blankets to sit on. So go ahead, grab those, and I'll meet you back. And we'll go ahead and find some centering and surrendering. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin in child's pose. If you need to have a blanket under your knees for a little extra cushion, please grab that now. Begin. Knees are on the mat. We bring the sitting bones towards the heels. If you need, for the sake of the knees and their comfort, to bring the knees a little wider to the edges of the mat, you can with the big toes together. We'll crawl out the hands until the forehead is resting on the mat. And I invite you to take a beautiful inhalation, breathing in through the back body as if you could through the solar plexus and heart center. And on the exhale, releasing any tension like smoke. So breathing in to that mid to lower back body, a smooth, beautiful deep breath in, and then an exhale, releasing like smoke. And on your next in-breath, we'll breathe in through the fingertips and the crown of the head and the mind's eye, gathering in the heart space, and on the exhale, letting that breath, that cleansing breath, leave the soles of the feet. So breath in, a count of maybe 5 or so on the in-breath, a hold of 1 count at heart center, exhale out the soles of the feet. And we'll begin that diaphragmic breathing process. On the in-breath, as you breathe in, we're going to let there be fullness in the lower belly. And on the exhale, the navel comes up towards spine ever so gently. Nice, smooth flow in, a gathering of life force, energy, spirit, and exhale, a releasing and letting go. Consenting to be breathed in or prayed in by the universe, the divine. And then we'll slowly come up onto hands and knees. Let's go ahead and have the hands placed slightly ahead of where the shoulder would be. So not directly below the shoulder this time, but a little, about a hand's length ahead. We'll have the interiors of the elbows facing each other. Knees are hip width apart. And on the in-breath, we will send the head and the hips skyward. And on the exhalation, rounding the back, chin towards chest. Breathing in, head and hips skyward as we're warming up the spine. Exhale, rounding the back. Again, at your own pace, breathing in, head and hips skyward. Exhale, rounding the back. One more time, head and hips skyward. This time, we're going to push back into downward dog. We're going to send the hips skyward as we place our body weight into the palms of the hands and into the feet. Breathing in through the mind's eye, or in the mind's eye through the fingertips and crown. Gathering in the heart space and solar plexus, and exhaling through the feet. Remembering that slow, smooth inhalation, a count of 5 or so on the in-breath, a hold of 1 count at the heart space, and then an exhale of 5 or so. And on your next exhale, coming onto knees, breathing in, a Again, we'll do cat-cow. On the in-breath, the head and hips go skyward. Exhale, rounding the back, chin towards chest. Breathing in, head and hips skyward. And on the exhalation, again, we're going to push back into downward dog. Let there be a generous bend in the knees this time. We're going to really work on opening up that lower back, creating some spaciousness. And on your next in-breath, we're going to walk the hands towards the feet, coming into a forward fold. I invite you to breathe in the mind's eye, through the back body again, receiving freshness, life force energy, and on the exhale, letting go. Gently nodding yes and no with the head, releasing the neck, the shoulders, loosening the jaw. And on your next in-breath, we'll come into half lift as the hands glide up until the hands rest under the kneecaps, shoulder blades closer together, back is flat as you face the mat. And on your next exhale, forward fold. On the in-breath, arms go out to the sides as you rise all the way back up. Palms together. And on the exhale, thumb knuckles come, touching the brow and the heart. And on the exhale, coming into mountain, palms in the hands face the front of the mat. Let's go ahead and step closer to that front part of the mat. And on the in-breath, we'll send the arms back up, facing skyward. Palms are together now. And on the exhale, forward fold. Hands will come onto the mat. We'll send both feet back into plank. We're going to activate our core. And I invite you, without holding the breath, to breathe. We'll stay here for a moment. And if you find that this is too much, you can come onto the knees. And on your next exhale, pushing forward with the toes as you lower the body down, elbows stay next to the side body. Coming into upward dog or into cobra. And on the exhale, coming back into downward dog. The heels do not need to touch the mat, but I would suggest that you have a slight interior rotation to the thighs as you send the hips skyward. And breathe. On your next in-breath, we'll raise the right foot skyward into standing splits. And on the exhale, bringing that right foot into a high lunge. Rooting that front foot into earth. Placing your body weight there as you activate the core, coming up into crescent. Exhale, hands come onto the mat. Coming back into plank. Activating the core. Back is flat. On your next exhalation, pushing the body weight forward with the toes, and on the exhale, coming down, elbows are next to the side body, coming up into upward dog or into cobra. And on your exhalation, coming into downward dog, really sending the hips skyward, the tailbone. And on your next in-breath, raising the left foot skyward. And on the exhale, bringing it forward into a high lunge. Rooting that front heel down, activating the core as you come all the way up. Arms are skyward. Exhale, hands come onto the mat. As as you push back into downward dog. And slowly walk the feet towards the hands into forward fold. We'll place the hands behind the tailbone, lacing the fingers. They can stay here, or you can raise the laced fingers skyward. And on your next exhalation, bending the knees as the hands come down, they unlace, letting the fingers glide across the floor as you come into chair. Knees are bent. Arms are at about 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And on your in-breath, rising all the way back up. Palms together, and on the exhale, thumb knuckles come to the brow and to the heart space. So let's go ahead and we will on the in-breath, we will send the hands skyward. Exhale, forward fold. In-breath, coming into half lift. Back is flat, shoulder blades closer together. Exhale, hands come onto the mat. So we send both feet back as we come into plank. On the next exhale, we'll push forward the toes and come on down. Elbows stay next to the sides of the torso as you push back up into upward dog, forward into cobra. Coming now into downward dog. On your next in-breath, raising the right foot skyward. And on the exhale, bringing that front foot into high lunge, rooting down that front heel as you raise the arms skyward. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat as you push back into downward dog. In-breath, left leg comes skyward. On the exhale, coming forward, root that front heel into the mat as you raise the arms skyward. Exhale, arms come down onto the mat. We'll push back into downward dog. This time, knees will come onto the mat. And we'll bring the sitting bones back into child's pose. Your next in-breath, letting the chin be towards chest as you come all the way forward with the body weight. Body weight now comes into the hands as the back arches. Little mini back bend here. And then exhale, bringing the sitting bones back to child's pose. On your next in-breath, rounding the back as you come forward yet again, rooting into earth through the palms of the hands. Mini back bend and breathe. And exhale, returning to child's pose. Arching the back, pushing back into downward dog. Walk the feet towards the hands, come into forward fold. Hands lace
together, the fingers laced together behind the tailbone with the option of raising the laced fingers skyward. And on the exhale, bending the knees. Arms come down, fingers unlace as you come up into chair. And on an in-breath, raising tall, hands are skyward with the face. And on the exhale, thumb knuckles come to brow and to heart. And then down to be breathed in or prayed in by the universe. As you mindfully bring awareness to the sensation of the feet against the floor. Clothing against your skin. This is today's balance posture. We're going to place all the weight in the left foot as we bring palms together in front of the heart center. We're going to raise the right knee, a reminder that for balance, we're going to have an inner gaze in the lower belly or several feet on the floor in front of you. So we're lifting that knee, and I invite you to be curious and playful. There's nothing to achieve. On the exhalation, we're going to slowly bring the body weight forward as that bent right leg goes all the way back. Palms pressed together as we do a standing split. And as you're ready, hands come onto the mat. And on an exhale, we bend that left leg as we set the right foot back. And we come up into standing, right? And we come into warrior. So, for warrior, I invite you to check your alignment. That left heel aligns with the arch of the back foot. The hips are actually parallel facing this front section of the mat. Arms reach out in opposite directions, and I invite you to gaze over that middle finger. And on your next inhalation, I invite the back arm to reach overhead as the left forearm rests above the knee. We want the body weight in the foot and not on top of the knee. We're simply resting. There's no body weight supporting through that arm here. We want to protect the leg. And breathe, opening up the side body. And on an in-breath, we'll come back into warrior. We'll raise the palm of the left hand skyward to receive. And on your next exhalation, reaching in front of you. On your next in-breath, bringing that left arm overhead, right hand rests on the hip, reverse warrior. Exhale, coming back into warrior. On an in-breath, we straighten that left leg, bring the feet parallel, and on an exhale, without locking the knees, come halfway down into forward fold, and then exhale, coming all the way down. Hands rest on the mat. We'll bend that left leg, left knee. So this is a gentle stretch happening in that right hamstring. If you want, you can walk your hands over to the left. And on your next in-breath, walk the hands to the right as your right knee bends. Your feet again are parallel. Now there's a gentle stretch to the left leg. And breathe. Remembering that beautiful diaphragmatic breathing on the exhalation, navel comes ever so gently towards the spine. Awareness stays within upon the breath. And then we'll slowly make our way back to center. We'll straighten the arms out to the sides, rooting down in through the heels to the earth, and on the in-breath, without locking the knees, we'll come all the way back up, bringing palms down to heart space and bringing the feet together. We'll come back to the front end of the mat. This time, let's place our body weight on the right foot. Finding that inner gaze in the lower belly for stability and balance, or several feet in front of you, we will raise the left leg, bending at the knee. Remembering there's nothing to achieve, we're simply being curious and playful. And on the exhale, our body weight begins to come forward with the torso and head as the left leg begins to straighten behind us. Okay? Palms either can stay together or you can bring them onto the floor and the mat now. Standing splits. And on an exhalation, bending that front knee as the back leg comes and we come into warrior. I'm going to switch sides here so you can see me. But you're okay, stay where you are unless you can't see the monitor very well yourself. So we want an alignment that the right heel aligns with the arch of the back leg. Right knee is straight, hips are parallel, arms go out to the sides. Now your next exhalation, the back arm comes overhead as the right forearm rests on the right knee or above the right knee. Beautiful side stretch. Letting there be fullness in the lower belly on the in-breath. Navel very gently towards the spine on the exhale. And as you're ready on your next in-breath, coming back into warrior. We'll now turn the palm of the right hand so it's receiving, facing skyward. And on the exhale, reaching out in front of you, and on the in-breath, reverse warrior as that right arm goes up overhead. The left arm comes onto the hip. And on your next exhale, coming back into warrior. We'll bring the legs parallel. So, feet are parallel facing the front. And on that next exhalation, we're going to bring the left hand towards the right foot or shin. Right arm is overhead as you turn to face skyward. On the in-breath, coming up. On the exhale, bringing the right hand towards the left foot or shin or ankle. Again, looking skyward. Other arm reaches high. On the in-breath, coming back up. On an exhale, we'll bring palms and feet together. Let's come on to the mat. So I invite us to place the left knee bent on the mat, or if you prefer, it can stay straight out, depending on your strength and stability and flexibility in that knee. I'm going to bend mine. With the right foot, we're going to place that on the outside of that left knee. We're going to find our stability or core. On an in-breath, we're going to raise the left arm skyward. And on the exhale, bring that left hand towards the right hip as we look over the shoulder and breathe. Navel comes towards the spine and up slightly on the exhale, so that on the in-breath, we are activating that beautiful lower belly breathing. That's so healthy and good for us. Meanwhile, we're giving our organs a gentle massage. next in-breath, arm goes skyward. Let's set that arm behind us and we'll switch sides. Bending the other knee, setting the opposite foot on the outside of that knee. Raising the right arm skyward, exhale, bringing that hand towards the left hip as we look over the back shoulder. And breathe. On your next in-breath, raising the arms skyward as you face the front. And then I invite us to come into cobbler. Let's press the feet together. You can wrap your hands around the feet if you so choose, or the ankles. And on exhalation, coming forward, pausing, breathing. It said it takes about 45 seconds for the body to soften and stop resisting when you go into a stretch of some kind. So we'll have this pause and we'll soften. And on your next in-breath, receive fullness through the lower back and heart center. And on the exhale, release and letting go. And in the mind's eye, energetically, I invite you to be receiving life force, energy, spirit coming in through the back of the heart and the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. Cleansing and receiving, and as if there was like a bathtub water stopper, imagining that being open and flushing, releasing into earth any stress or tension you might be holding in that lower part of your body energetically. Breathing in, receiving through the back body. On the exhale, releasing. On the in-breath, rising back up. Let's go ahead and we're going to enter into Scorpion. This feels fantastic. So we'll go ahead and place the belly on the mat. We're going to bring the arms out to the sides. Feet are about hip width apart. You can now rest your left cheek on the mat. And on your next in-breath, we're going to raise the right leg. We're going to bend that knee as we reach that right foot over to the left side. I'm going to demonstrate that one more time if you didn't catch that. So I'm laying flat on the mat. My left cheek is resting on the mat. My arms are splayed out to the sides. I'm now rooting down and rising that back, raising my right foot skyward, bending the knee as the leg continues, as it reaches over and across the left leg behind me. So it's now, my foot's resting on the floor. I'm not sure I can do that with the other leg. Usually, or it's not unusual for us to have one leg that's more flexible than the other. But give that a try and breathe. Remembering ever so gently on the exhale to bring the navel towards spine. Keeping the awareness within on the breath. And on your next exhalation, bringing the leg back down to where it was before on the mat. Switching so that your right cheek rests on the mat. Now on an in-breath, raising the left leg up, bending that left knee as the left foot comes over on the other side of the right leg, and breathe. Let's do that again. So bringing that leg back down onto the mat,
We'll let the left cheek rest on the mat. In breath as the right leg reaches up, the knee bends as you send the right foot over towards or on the left on the floor, and breathe. And on in breath, bringing that leg back to where it was at the beginning, switching the side of the cheek that rests on the floor. Last time, left leg comes over, and breathe. And on exhale, bring both legs back onto the mat. We'll bring the hands so that they push into the mat near the chest as we come back into child's pose. So putting the weight in the palms of the hands as the sitting bones, return to the heels. Forehead is on the mat, child's pose. In the mind's eye, breathing in through the fingertips and crown, gathering in the heart center as a hold of 1 count for the breath before exhaling out through the feet. Letting the belly be full on the in-breath. We'll come back up. And we'll sit on the mat facing the long way of the mat. And we'll have the feet out, with the knees bent. We'll have our hands up high. And on an exhale, we're going to send the knees to the left as the right hand reaches out all the way across. The left forearm is on the floor. Reach, reach, reach. And breathe. Gentle twist. We're massaging the organs again. Navel towards the spine on the exhalation. Activating the core on the next in-breath as you come back up. Now dropping the knees on the right. Right forearm comes onto the mat as the left arm reaches across. Next in-breath, coming back up to center. Little cat-cow on the in-breath, arching the back. As you hold the knees, bent knees. On exhale, rounding the back, chin towards the chest. In-breath, rounding the back, facing skyward. Exhale, rounding the back. Let's come onto the mat, onto our left side. We're going to straighten the left leg. We're going to rest the left hand on the right knee. We're going to reach the right hand out to the side, straight out, as we face the same direction as that right hand. And on your in-breath, we'll do the sunrise arm. On the in-breath, the right arm reaches up, and all the way behind us as the head follows. And on your next in-breath, bring the arm and the head back to where it began. Breathing in, arm goes up as you reach over. On in-breath, the arm returns to where it began. Last time, breathing in, right arm scoops all the way around. Your head is turned now to where the hand is, directly out to the side. And we'll stay here for several breaths. On your next in-breath, let the sun rise all the way back up again as the hand comes up and over. The face follows as the hand returns to where it began. We'll switch sides, coming over onto your right side. We'll straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. The right hand rests on top of the left thigh. We'll let the left arm reach directly out in front of us, and on in-breath, we'll slide that left hand up, behind, overhead, and all the way around. Our head is turned to face that direction, and on the in-breath, hand goes back overhead, comes to where it began. Breathing in, arm goes up, overhead. And on your next in-breath, arm returns to where it began. Last time, arm goes up overhead, all the way around. We'll stay here for several breaths. And on your next in-breath, arm comes up, overhead, off to the side. And we'll now come onto our back. Palms are on the mat, knees are bent, facing skyward, feet are on the mat. On your next in-breath, we'll root the heels into earth as we raise the hips skyward. Coming into bridge, activating the glutes. Exhale, hips return to the earth. Breathing in, raising the pelvis and hips skyward, the hands join, the hands come up overhead and all the way behind. And on the exhale, palms of the hands and pelvis return to earth. Again, on the in-breath, rooting the heels as the pelvis, hips, hands raise skyward. Backs of the hands rest on the mat behind the head as you activate the glutes. And on an exhale, the hips and the hands return to the earth. We'll activate the Cornell. Palms stay on the mat as you raise the feet skyward. Feet are flexed, facing the ceiling. On an in-breath, palms come up overhead until the backs of the hands rest behind you. On the exhale, arms come back up, the knees bend, toes point, palms return to the mat. On in-breath, the legs straighten, feet face skyward, hands go up overhead until the backs of the hands rest on the mat behind you. On your next exhale, we'll bend the knees, palms come onto the mat. Last time, legs straighten, feet skyward, arms come up and all the way behind you. Stretch, 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 stretch. Flexing the feet, spreading the fingers wide. And on an exhalation, we'll bend the knees and we'll place the hands right below the kneecaps and give our knees a gentle hug. Take a moment to breathe. Let's continue to hold the left knee as the right leg comes onto the mat. And on your next exhalation, we'll gently guide the left knee towards the right with the right hand. Left knee comes towards the right as far down as it'll go. The left arm goes out to the side and your head turns to face the left. And breathe. exhale, and that knee a gentle hug. Bringing the other knee up to join it. We'll continue to hug the right knee as the left leg comes onto the mat. We'll now gently guide the right knee towards the left with the left hand. As the right arm goes out to the side, head turns to face the right. And breathe. Knee comes back up, give it a gentle hug with both hands. Bring the other left knee, or the left knee up to join it. Take a moment to raise the head so that your face is closer to those knees. And letting the head return to the mat, resting, and we'll prepare for Shavasana. So I invite you at this time, if you have a blanket, to go ahead and place it on yourself now. If you need socks, if you need a sweatshirt, go ahead and do that. Traditionally, for Shavasana, for the surrender pose, corpse pose, the feet splay out to the corners of the mat. Palms are skyward, arms slightly away from the torso. Being effortless as you practice letting go with each exhalation. And your next exhalation, letting go even more. With each exhale, you're sinking deeper, deeper into earth, but sensing yourself as light, being light. Sensing the right foot evaporating, becoming sheer energy or light. Imagine tingling or a warm sensation as the foot evaporates, becoming pure air, pure lightness of being, all the way up the leg, up to the pelvis, across to the other hip, down the left thigh, evaporating, becoming pure light. Past the kneecap, the calf, into the ankle, swirling around the heel, caressing the arch of the foot as you become pure light. If you'd like, sensing a buzzing or vibration sensation. Now coming up to the lower belly, sensing a swirl wrapping around and round within and through you, pure light expanding, filling the rib cage, the heart space, the shoulders, the back body, down through the arms, the fingers. Infusing and filling the throat, tracing the jawline, the cheekbones, the eye sockets, the brow, feeling every hair follicle as you become pure vastness, surrendering, being effortless, like the vast blue sky. through what returns as the toes, all the way up the legs. The returning of the physical body meeting spirit or energy, rising all the way to the crown, and then exhale like a blowhole of a whale. Breathing in, receiving through the feet, all the way up through the root, the sacral, that center energy channel, all the way up and out through the crown of the head. A beautiful cleansing shaft of light, infusing and flooding your whole being. We'll come over onto the right side now. You can use your arm as a pillow. In the mind's eye, engaging in moon breathing, that is breathing in through the left nostril and exhaling through the right. Engaging in a transfiguring awareness of yourself as vastness, pure light. We'll now transition, as you're ready, into a seated posture, in a chair or a bolster or a stack of blankets.
You want to have a sense of stability. So sitting tall, we'll bring the tips of the pointer fingers and thumbs together, letting the palms rest facing downward for a sense of grounding. On your next in-breath, sensing energy swirl in, breathing in through the back body, all the way around the belt line. As the sitting bones in the mind's eye send down roots into earth. Breathing in through the back body, up through the root, the tailbone area. Receiving freshness, vitality, sensing stability, grounding, which is so important at this time. Now bringing awareness to the crown of the head, and in the mind's eye there, and in the brow center, sensing the vastness, seeing a clear blue sky. Earth below, in the lower part of the body, rooting, receiving nurturance, sustenance from Mother Earth. While the upper energy centers, which connect us with the divine, the eternal vastness. See a beautiful, intense, azure, blue, indigo. Letting that spread in through the throat and in the heart space, seeing a beautiful inner sun, sunshine, enlarging with each inhalation through the back body, like breathing on an ember,
Breathing in through the back body and from above the crown. On the exhale, shining out as you connect to the visceral feeling of love and awe or beauty, tenderness. Breath rate is slow and smooth, a count of 5 or so on the in-breath. Building in the heart space. And on the exhalation, shining out. I invite you, if you so choose, to engage in centering prayer or prayerfulness, consenting to let the divine breathe or pray within you, the universe, communing with that indwelling light, Holy Comforter. Grace flowing from the inside out. Letting that inner sun begin to descend until it rests right behind the navel. This main energy center in Chinese energy medicine, in traditional Chinese energy medicine. Breathing in universal life force, or qi, or prana, spirit, and letting that commingle with the energy or light that's always within you. And if you so choose, combining that with the divine indwelling. Quietly saying, I'm in the universe, the divine, the universe are in me, we are one. Centered and surrendered. Knowing oneself as part of a larger reality, a vastness. Going into the emptiness or the vastness, beyond all form. Breathing in, receiving the divine through the back body. And also from above. So a waterfall of light infuses you, adding radiance to your innate inner light. That inner sunshine or moon, that inner light begins to spin like an energy ball, faster and faster as it gets smaller, and you tuck it like an energy pill right behind the navel, knowing that there is also this abode of the soul, this anahata in Sanskrit, or joy within the heart center, this inner light which no sorrow can darken. So awareness shifts now to this innate radiance and joy in the shrine of the heart as you set an intention for the rest of your day or night. Perhaps it is practicing awareness of the breath as a still or centering point. Perhaps the practice of breathing in through the back body, especially the lower torso and the back of the heart center, so we aren't so depleted as very front-centered, front body-centered beings. Or maybe it's a surrender or letting go with every exhalation and softening. And put palms together in front of heart center. The face gently bows towards the shrine of the heart, the abode of the soul. We dedicate this practice to the healing wholeness of all beings, all people, at this difficult time in the life of the world. We also dedicate this practice to our own healing wholeness, the recollection of ourselves as carriers of light and instruments of healing peace. Peace, peace, peace. The light and divinity within me recognizes that same light and divinity within you. Namaste.